Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We're still continuing to expand over here. At this point, we've hit a high point in prestige. Italy's overtaken the German Empire, but we're still leading. But I wanna stay that way. So even though our finances are not as good as they could be, I think we can do some small conquests. And I think Asseh is a good target. So let's go ahead and 13.3 infantry. That's quite a bit. Maybe we'll turn them into a protectorate or something. Well, let's grab Sambas. They're quite affordable. From an infamy perspective, anyway. And then we'll do Pontianak, and if there's time, we'll go for Asseh. Oh my goodness, there's something going on in the Netherlands. The German Empire and Austria-Hungary are at war. Oh my gosh, Italy land invaded Great Britain. Get him! Get him, Italy! So what's going on with you? What's going on with this situation here? Netherlands is the initiator. They try to get Igbo from Spain. Igbo is where? Oh boy, I'm making a fool of myself. Hold on. Where are you? Here. Okay. As you might have guessed, my African geography is not the best. And to conquer Spanish South Cameroon. And coming to Spain's support is Peru-Bolivia, who's quite strong, actually. And Austria-Hungary, who is enormous. Enormous, but not as oh, they're a great power again. That's wild. Because they were descendant for a while, but then they're in a war with, and then Germany sided with the Netherlands, who are a what? A democratic republic. Parliamentary Republic, Universal Suffrage. Well, that's pretty neat. Nice mustache. Hans Boreal. Huh. So I'm surprised. They're part of the German market as well. Interesting. Italy sides with Spain. Oh man, this whole situation's popping off. You know what? I'll just go ahead and ignore that and continue to make conquests in Southeast Asia like a hero. While all the great European powers are having yet another general European war, I'm just over here in Southeast Asia picking off small powers and eating them. Crunch, 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 crunch. Feed the light green blob. Got an army here. Small one. Gonna go ahead and disband it, but it'll be a bit. Could bring France in on this, but I don't necessarily want to. And this is on the countdown to war, so I'll go ahead and just declare neutrality and let everyone else enjoy whatever they're doing over there in that war. Continue to massively benefit from these huge oil, from the oil boom being caused by this massive war. And all the other wars. In my Japan run, I was never pleased that I couldn't get Dainam into my my customs union, but it is what it is. Uluru will do a trade agreement at least. Sambas is broken out 2 arms. Let's do a defensive pact. Nobody gets to take over Uluru. Hey, there's the skyscraper site. Our architects and engineers have identified Constantinople in eastern Thrace as the optimal site to begin the construction of a skyscraper. Gentlemen, we are going to erect the tallest building in the world. The foundation alone will need hundreds of men, more if they do not work 12-hour shifts. Every day we will need to transport thousands of bags of cement into the heart of a metropolis. We must secure an immense quantity of steel that must, like Atlas, hold the weight of the whole world. The task ahead of us is monumental. Lay the foundations. Alright, let's build us a skyscraper. Can I build more than one? No, I cannot. And that goes in development probably. Yes, here we go. So it is going to be a bureaucratic nexus. And then we're going to get an airship mooring post. That's going to give us 10 prestige eventually. Oh, I finally got access to modern ports. Oh, that's very good. Let's do it. I'm going to be chock full of convoys. Yeah, there we go. It's way more than I thought. And that's probably a bunch of our trade routes expanding. And here is the takeover. Seems pretty much completed at this point. Here's another battle happening, and there's another battle ending. And that's the end of the conquest. And that's the way the news goes. So this skyscraper, how long is it going to take? 68 weeks. We are going to get it done before the end of the game. So that's going to be nice. Hey, 8th Ottoman Army, why don't you... How do I change your default location? You're stationed at the Indonesia HQ. Does that mean you'll stay there? I don't think it does. So how do I make sure you stay there? Allow and borrow landing of troops. Okay, that's normal. Modifiers, buildings, mobilization options. Set the home HQ. Can't set it. Maybe you can only do that when you're at peace. Alright, so once this war ends, I will hit that button, and we'll move them to Indonesia, and then they can do all the conquests that we desire from Indonesia. United Sovereign Archduchies buying our ammunition. That's lovely. Happy to hear it. And we're continuing to sell all of the oil on Earth. Oh boy, there's a communist party now. Okay. Alright, so that's going to be interesting. We're going to see how things go with that. And, didn't realize that the, oh no, I knew about this guy. This guy's, I knew that happened. Can't boot him out quite yet. We'll see how things go after that, though. So yes, so we got a little bit more space in West Borneo, and that's space for one more rubber mine and 4 more rubber plantations. We'll continue to align production methods there. And that means got plenty of infamy available, so now it's Pontianac's turn. But before we do this, let's grab 8th Ottoman Army and set them to the Indonesia HQ, which is where they're currently located at. And now, Pontianak, time to get conquered. Once again, mobilize the 8th Ottoman Army. Place them on the front. They're nearly fully mobilized, and now they're fully mobilized. Wonderful. So hopefully that will let us get everything we desire. So how's the oil situation? Oil exports are only going up. Gosh, that's so impressive. Let's queue in some more. I got plenty of places to make oil. Oh, that's right. I got oil in Eastern. Nice Borneo. Let's throw some oil in there. But also, before I forget, let's found the Suez Canal Company. Where are we? Am I crazy? Did it disappear? Suez Canal Company. Here we go. Establish. Perfect. Ottoman steel is at low productivity, which I'm not excited about. Let's see if we can... Winds of change. Khorasan has come a long way since our attention was first brought to it, going from small houses and scattered farmlands to being on its way to becoming a blooming metropolis. The woman sighs. Her old hands stop crocheting for a second. When I was younger, all of this was farmlands. Us kids would just play freely in the fields, not having to worry about getting hit by a cart or those criminals coming to get us. And we still had time to work. Well, Grandma, now people have even more places to work at. Finally, of course, sun shines like never before. This is not the end. We'll go with the first one to get extra loyalists. Urban center throughput I found never does anything for anyone. So, how do I get my steel industry to be more efficient? One way is I can export steel. So who wants Ottoman steel? A lot of people, it turns out. France, Crew, South Africa, Gaza, all that. All right. Looks like no one is going to oppose our conquest over here. Let's look at how the war is going in Europe. Oh, Italy's invaded the Netherlands. But, so that probably means that's going to end soon. I'm going to improve relations with the Netherlands. They seem like good people to be friends with. And once again, because we're building up our oil industry, this is going to cost us additional cash. I think the investment pool doesn't want to put money into oil, and I'm not sure why. But that is what it is. War between France and air. Obligatory joke about breathing here. There's another rebellion happening in Portugal. Revolutionary Portugal. Interesting. Still, that doesn't concern the Ottoman Empire much. The defender of decency. Portugal has fallen to a revolution amongst the industrialists. In the campaign materials of the Conservative Party, Rauf Bey has immediately denounced the industrialists here, preempting a similar revolt. You would name me a traitor? Of course, I'm certain that you are. Many abroad in Portugal would think similarly to you. What's to say you're not a traitor already, plotting sedition with the members of your book club? You've gone mad. Someone must stand against this revolutionary tide. Interesting, this gives the Conservative Party a bunch of momentum. Okay, there's the war popping off. Portugal is far away, and here is here. Weakens the Conservative Party and the armed forces, or the revolution will not be villainized. Extra momentum for the Communist Party. And weaker local governors. Ooh, the temptation is high. I'm going to go with this last one. We're going to see if we can hold together a coalition of the communists and the agrarians. We'll see how that actually goes. Free Trade Party is really borked on votes. All right, here we go. So they're going to get a big pile of votes. So hopefully we'll be able to hold our present coalition. Lan Fang is improving relations. No, don't conquer me. That's very funny. That's very funny to me. I'm very pleased about that. And then the finances are doing a lot better. Continuing to export tons and tons of oil. Okay, all right. We've kind of evened out on oil, so that's fine. Where can we sell more oil to? Because the prices are going down. Spain, Communist Canada, Japan. We're a huge exporter. So I'm hoping we can keep our present coalition alive, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I may need to shift around allegiances. As long as the local governors are in the Conservative Party, I don't want it to be in the ruling party, because they're going to try to ask me to do some weird nonsense, and I'm going to be furious when that happens. Bourgeois revolt in Scotland. Ooh, actually, this is potentially a constitutional monarchy in Scotland. I might want to intervene in this. Alright, we're doing okay. The trade unions are in their own party now. Well, they're not in a party, but they exist. With that said, I think we can hold our present course without having much of a problem. So I think we're going to stay where we are. The Intelligentsia strongly oppose constitutional monarchy. We could go to a presidential republic. Oh no, the rural folk are going to be furious about that. Are the rural folk headed up by a monarchist? They are. Well, that's wild. Alright, well that's really interesting. Neat. Alright, well that's why my government is a contested contested legitimacy for now. Alright, well, we'll see what we can do. Scotland wants us on our side, calling us in his... Oh, that's right, we're allies. Well, it is what it is. We have the 8th Ottoman Army. So I don't want my current leader to become a bandit, which is what happens when you do that. And this will sort itself out in due time. And then after that, it's a seh. And this is very good. We're currently paying 24k in interest, but we're getting a bunch from our Suez Canal Company, and our diplomatic pact's income has never been stronger, and we're not currently building anything except for that skyscraper. So basically, we got 16. We're making 250,000 pounds a week. We're 16,000 pounds in debt, so that means it's going to be 64 weeks, and then we'll be good to go. We also just got political agitation, which is wonderful. That lets us get another consumption tax. Let's throw that on luxury furniture. Ooh. Votes for women. Women in the Ottoman Empire have begun to organize to campaign for their right to vote in general elections. Safet Manaz of the Intelligentsia has emerged as a leading figure of this movement. If democracy is to live up to its own ideals, it cannot simply be an emulation of ancient republics. It must be an ongoing project, always asking the question, who is not heard? Whose wisdom is discarded? The Ottoman Empire has already recognized women as capable of ruling themselves. Why should we not aid in ruling the nation? A worthy cause? Or sounds like opposition talk. A worthy cause changes someone else's ideology to feminist. Oh, the head of the rural folk. Yes! Oh, we're going with the worthy cause. So this means these two are much better aligned, and if we pull Safet Manaz, can't grant her leadership, why not? Oh my gosh, because she's a woman. Well, this is exactly why we need women's suffrage. Who's going to be mad about this? A lot of people, but nobody enough to genuinely oppose it. Let's do it. 50% from the movement. Fire away. Any movement against? Looks like no, so we are going to be good to go. Can ignore all of these declarations of non-neutrality. Communist uprising in the Grand Duchy of Finland. Sweden. Why do you have Ostrobothnia? What's going on over here? My sisu. Sweden, you're trying to get all my sisu. I need Finland to have so that I can import sisu. What are you doing? Johnny, what are you doing? Anyway, this battle should sort itself out in due time. Oh boy, we got a lot of situations happening here. The irony is not lost on me that I am currently keeping Scotland under communist control, even as I struggle to get my own country, get communists out of ruling positions in my own country. Oh, beautiful. A religious revolt in Britain. Wonderful. Yeah, keep collapsing, Britain. That's very funny. Alright, and now my army is coming back to Indonesia. So that's wonderful. That's a very successful, we've had a very successful battle here. There is a movement against women's rights now, headed up by a weird coalition of the landowners and the trade unions, but hopefully we'll be able to get this passed before the end of the game, and get out of debt as well. We're at just below 13 million pounds in debt, so we'll continue to work on that. Our economy is not growing as fast as I would like, and the investment pool is covering it for now, but it's not going to always. War and emulation. The successes that the British Republic have seen with its policies of women's suffrage has been noticed by supporters of Safet Manaz, who point towards it as an example of ideal government. Manaz held up the newspaper with an expression of amusement on her face. You see this? This is an admission of victory. It may call us spies, agents of foreign powers, but it also concedes that the change we desire is not indeed something alien without precedent. What succeeded in the British Republic will succeed in the Ottoman Empire. 10% enactment success chance, reduced enactment time. Ottoman Empire is not the British Republic. This gives us just 10% enactment chance, or why not use relevant British law as a template? This just gives us one phase, but it makes the petit bourgeois furious. The petit bourgeois are irrelevant, so why not use them as a template? Kablam! Give me a success phase. We're in drafting now. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And we're close to having our skyscraper built as well, which will be really nice. Oh, you know what? I forgot to align production methods again in West Borneo. Can't eat Lanfang just yet, but I can eat Sulu. German Empire. Okay, what country is this? This is Norway. They're going after Norway. They want to open the Norwegian market, which is a protectionist market. That's very funny. 12 of our convoys of Scotland. Relax. It's fine. You don't need to raid convoys anymore. The war's basically over. This British Republic is a presidential republic with census suffrage. Why are you my enemies? We're some of the only democratic powers in Europe at this point. I'm in Europe. Shut up, I'm in Europe. Europe is the place that I'm located in. Our positive finances went down. And there's a skyscraper built, touching the sky. Construction of the Constantinople Skyscraper in eastern Thrace is complete, dominating the skyline and inspires all who gaze upon it. My skyscraper would not have been possible without the hard work and grit of the thousands of people who dedicated themselves to its construction. Of course, as chief engineer, I had perhaps more impact than most. One might even say that the lion's share of the credit is mine. In fact, this pinnacle of human achievement, this new Babel, was born entirely from the machinations of my mind. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. A magnificent achievement. 25 prestige. Heck yes. Baha'u'ddin Pasha is an agitator for women's suffrage. Lovely. Desperate measures. Concerns about the well-being of Sultan Kemaluddin Osmanoglu have been increasing throughout the country after his lack of public appearances. His spouse has tearfully confessed that no doctor seems to be able to cure him. I've tried everything, but his illness comes from the inside. No broken bones, not even a sore throat. I'm afraid we'll have to switch to other methods, and a good friend of my cousin, he was able to cure her. Just snapped his fingers, read her future in the cards, and voila. She was just as fine as when she was young, happy, and full of life. Nonsense. A real doctor should treat him with proper hypnosis. 33% chance he loses his affliction, but the Sunni ulema get mad. It's worth a try. 15% chance he loses it, or an experimental treatment has been offered by the philosophy department. 50% chance he loses his affliction. Let's go with this third one. This happens because we've got a level 3 or higher university with the philosophy department. Kerblam. Can you cure the Sultan's mental illness? Oh my gosh, it worked. That's incredible. I'm so pleased. Oh, all right. That's rad. That is positively rad. I am excited. All right, so where's our infamy at right now? Still reputable. Let's go ahead and grab a set. Protectorate would be a lot more viable. But I wish to conquer them. And we'll mobilize the 8th Ottoman Army once again. And law progress to voting. That is wonderful. So hopefully, women's suffrage will basically be in the bag relatively soon. We got another 89 days for another check, and it's a 61% chance of success. There are still a bunch of... The Sunni ulema has decided to back the movement against, but I don't think anyone can overturn the tide of movement towards women's suffrage, and once we've got that completed, we'll be able to put Manas in command of the Intelligentsia, and then we won't have a communist in charge over there, and that is ideal for my situation. We're still pretty low on standard of living overall, but literacy is continuing to go up, and GDP, we finally hit maximum for GDP. We're the biggest economy in the world, closing in on 3 million pounds, which is absolutely wonderful. So, there's a rebellion happening in CORON. Couldn't possibly bother myself with that. There's a rebellion happening in Uruguay. Couldn't possibly concern myself with that. Spanish Philippines. Spain is trying to annex the Spanish Philippines. Ooh, is this something that matters to me? International exchange standards. That's wonderful. That gives us a big old minting bonus. So I think next, let's go with electric railways. And once that's done, we'll look into... Oh, mass propaganda gives... Well, we haven't finished the level 4s. Multilateral alliances could be really nice. On the other hand, stormtroopers would be really good. So let's go ahead and grab that. And then we'll do military aviation. We'll continue to be far ahead on the military side of things. Another war over here, this one between Chile and Mapuche. So, gonna involve me. Peru, Bolivia. What are you doing? Getting all. Actually, I don't really have any call to be a weird imperialist about South America. Things are chill in South America. Oh man, this is a no chill situation. How did this happen? Did they trade? Did they trade Arizona for Utah? First of all, if you're going to create a hole in Mexico, you have to make it New Mexico. The meme value alone is just totally stonks. You gotta. But ridiculous. Anyway, must be 23 days, but that'll be the end of January. And we've got to put a pin in today's episode. So, that's what we're doing right now, and that's what we got. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I've had a good time. I hope you all have had a good time. And I'll see you all on the other side.